What's going on, guys? Today I wanted to find out what my new prestige is with my rank 4 Proxima Midnight. She hasn't currently been added to the normal sources for prestige, like where you would find those, because there are places that have prestige online that you can find prestige for certain champions at certain signature levels. There's a couple of different places you can find them. Um, well, I mean, I'm sure there's more than a couple, but the two that I use or have used, actually, there's three that I have used. One is the Line App Prestige Calculator that you can find through the Infobot. Um, it's like you add Infobot as a friend, and it's basically a site or like a plug. I don't really know exactly how it works, but um, you add them as a friend, and it's like an automated thing that gives you a bunch of different information. And just go to your search bar for search for friends and type in at Infobot, and it'll pop up. And add that, and then you can find the prestige calculator by typing in the keyword prestige. I'm pretty sure it is. But anyway, but some champions that are newer have not been added into that yet. So you can't find your prestige using that method. Another way that you could do it is on Google Google Sheets. Um, Mutamat, who is basically the person who does all the prestige for everything, as far as I'm aware, he collects a bunch of information from like a ton of different players, and that's how he like figures out what the prestige of each champion at each signature level is. And until he has enough of that information available, then he can't add those champions into his database. So if they're not in his database, then they're not going to be available in the different places where you would go to find it. Now, let me talk just a little bit about what prestige is. So basically, what prestige um, is your champion's basic power level. So like Gwenpool, with my masteries and everything on, is at 9,547. But if I strip all of my masteries off, it'll reflect her actual true prestige. So none of these numbers are their actual prestige, but it does kind of give you a general idea of who your higher champs are. But like some of these, after you strip off the masteries, are going to trade places. Like they won't be in the same order that they are with your masteries on, because certain masteries affect different champions in different ways. So for the newer people who aren't familiar with prestige and what it's used for. So the purpose of prestige, like what it's actually, its function in the game, is to determine the difficulty of your Alliance Quest opponents. And the harder the champion is, or the more difficult the champion is, the more points you get per fight, and it will make your score go up higher and higher the higher your prestige gets. The idea behind it is basically you're going to be facing opponents that are close to the same level as your top champions. So you don't want to have like a super stacked team and be facing really easy opponents in Alliance Quest and getting really crappy rewards. If you got a super stacked team, then you want to be facing more difficult opponents in Alliance Quest to get more points so that you can score higher on the leaderboard. So that's this prestige number you see here is affected each day of Alliance Quest. Well, it won't show me right now. History. Here we go. So each day you complete Alliance Quest, your prestige increases based on how many battle groups you complete. So if we only completed 2 battle groups, then you would have 2/3 the prestige increase that is listed here. So, but on day 1, it reflects your actual entire alliance prestige, which is every member of your alliance, all of their prestige is added together and then divided by the number of people in your alliance. So if you have 30 members in your alliance and your total prestige is, we'll say, 3,000, then your entire prestige for your whole alliance would be it would average out to be 3,000. So some people might have a 4,000 prestige, some people might have a 2,500 prestige, but it averages all of that out into one number, and that is what all of your opponents are based on. So if you have an alliance where you have some really weak members, like 2 or 3 of those, but then you have a ton of really strong people on the top end, then the people who have the really weak rosters with lower champions are going to have a hard time keeping up with the difficulty of the opponents. So, now I'm going to show you. Now, it takes a little bit of a unit investment. So, if you have some units that you don't mind contributing to find out what your actual prestige is, now we'll just look at my profile right here. 12,980 for Medusa, 95, 92, 92. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going into my masteries, and I'm going to remove all of my mastery points. So I'm going to recover. Now, this used to be a lot more expensive, but Kabam has reduced the price for this, because there are so many different aspects of this game that people do recover points for. Not everybody does it. I don't really do it very often. But now we'll go in, and you'll see these are the actual prestige numbers of my champions. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into my champion list. It used to cost a lot of units to recover your masteries. Like you had to pay to recover your masteries, then you had to pay to put them back on. But now it just costs to put them back on, and it's not that expensive. So, all right. So Proxima Midnight is who I was actually after, because the other ones are already in the database. But we're gonna do. I'm doing this to kind of let's do. All right, here we go. So these are my top champions, and Proxima Midnight is replacing Luke Cage in my top 5. Your prestige is based on your top 5 champions, the average prestige of your top 5 champions. So you would add all of the player levels for each champion together and then divide it by 5, and that is your personal prestige. And it's when you're kind of newer to the game, it's not as important to know what your personal prestige is. But when you get further in and you start trying to join higher level alliances, then you really need to know what your actual prestige is so that you can use it to like market yourself to the higher alliances. So we've covered what prestige is. We've covered what it's used for. We've covered how to find your prestige. Oh, one other place that you can, actually my preference of places to find it, to be able to calculate your prestige, is the Clan HQ app. Now, they do not sponsor this video. They're more than welcome to send me some money, but they did not sponsor any part of this video. But I am a fan of the prestige aspect of the app. I like Line for the chat functions to communicate with your alliance, but the Clan HQ app is a really easy way for you to keep up with what champions you have, what their signature levels are, and what their actual prestige is. So if you don't have that, then I would highly recommend to download that and just put in like your top 15 champions, or maybe like your top 5 for prestige purposes. And then, I mean, honestly, you need to put in your top 15 because, like I said before, sometimes those champions are gonna flip flop. Like you might, for example, um, who's a good example? So Sentinel is a good example. Where he is in the order of my champions, the 4-star Sentinel, that is not where he is after my masteries are on. He's below Ghost Rider and Blade. I think he's still above Doc Ock, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But the reason that Ghost Rider and Blade go above Sentinel is because I have the Deep Wounds Mastery and I have the Mystic Dispersion Mastery, which gives them extra player level points, and it does nothing for Sentinel. He doesn't get any benefit from either of those masteries. So, but his actual prestige is higher than theirs because they're both at signature level 99. Sentinel's only at signature level 79. So, once once I duplicate him again or put 20 more stones into him, then his prestige is going to get even higher. So anyway, if you have any other questions about how prestige works, leave me a comment and I will try to answer. I don't have a boatload of subscribers yet. Hopefully, with some more helpful videos, I'll be able to build some more subscribers. But if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll try to answer pretty much all questions that warrant an answer, or all comments that warrant a response. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it helps you, and have a good day.